Topic 2 is all about adding and subtracting decimals. In 2-1, we'll be talking about mental math, so being able to add and subtract decimals in your head. There are a few addition properties that are going to help us make adding and subtracting decimals in our head a little bit easier. The first one is called the commutative property. The commutative property says that you can add two things in any order and you'll get the same answer. So for example, if I were adding, let's say, 1 plus 2, I get 3, which is the same as doing 2 plus 1. I still get 3. So this could help us when we're doing a problem like this. I don't have to add from left to right. I see that these two numbers on the right go together well because 0.4 and 0.6 makes one whole. So I can add those two first. That makes one whole, and then 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm doing this in my head, but I'm writing down what I'm doing to help you see, and that's 9, and then I add 20 onto that in my head and get 29. So sometimes adding the numbers in a different order will help you to make it a little bit easier to do in your head. The other property that we're going to talk about is called the associative property, and this says that you can change how you group things. So, for example, if I were doing 1 plus 2 plus 3, I can either group these two together, add those two first, and then add on 3, or I can group those two together, add this first, and then add on 1. So it's really similar to the commutative property. Again, this would help you to find an order that might better suit you. For example, if I had 2.1 plus 0.9 plus 1.2, I'd probably group these two together and do them first, since 0.9 and 0.1 is one whole. Then I would add on this 2 to get 3 wholes, plus 1.2 equals 4.2. However, if it were switched and the order were something like this, I might group it differently and still group those two together, but add the second numbers first. So basically, add in whatever order helps you to do the math in your head. Another strategy that I kind of actually talked about in the last slide is called compatible numbers. These are numbers that are easy for you to compute mentally. When something is compatible, it goes well with something else. For example, peanut butter and jelly are compatible. So if I had a problem, let's say, like 66 plus 1.8 plus 2.2. These two numbers are compatible because 0.8 and 0.2 make one whole. Those go together well because they're easy to do in my head. Usually things that are compatible are numbers that are going to make one whole or make 10 or something like that. So I'm going to add those two first in my head. 0.8 and 0.2 is one whole, plus this 2 is 3 wholes, plus this 1 is 4 wholes. So now I have 66 plus 4, which is another compatible number because that makes another 10. 66 plus 4 is 70. So while I wrote this down, I could still do this in my head, which is what you guys will do. This strategy is called compensation. This is one of my favorite strategies. To compensate means to make up for something. So let's say I were finding 3.47 plus 4.35. This one isn't particularly easy to do in your head. 47 cents and 35 cents doesn't make a whole or anything that's easy to think about. But it is easy for me to work with 50 cents, and this is pretty close to $3.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on 3 cents to make this $3.50. So now I have $3.50 plus $4.35. Imagine these are dollars, which now is so much easier to do in my head. $4 plus $3 is $7. 50 plus 35 is 85. Now, I have to go back and compensate. This whole method is called compensation. So, What I have to do now is up here I added on 3 cents. And I can't just really do that without making up for it at the end. So since I added on 3 cents before, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3 cents at the end. So I'm making up for these 3 cents that I essentially borrowed over here, and I'm taking them off now here. So it's like the bank gave me a loan of 3 cents to make this problem easier. Now I'm paying back the bank. So now in your head think, okay, what's 85 cents minus 3 cents? That'd be 82 cents, and I still have my $7. So my final answer is $7.82, and I got that by borrowing. Here's another example of compensation. If I wanted to do 4.25 minus 3.08, in my head, these numbers aren't really easy for me to do, but what might be a little bit easier, this one's really close to $3.10. So I'm trying to look for numbers that are close to what I have, just a few cents or a couple hundredths or tenths off, so that it'll make it a little bit easier. So to do that, I'm subtracting 2 cents too many, right? To get from negative 3.08 to negative 3.10, I took away 2 cents more. So make sure that you're really careful with the positives and the negatives. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract this now in my head. I know $4 minus $3 is $1. 25 cents minus 10 cents is 15 cents. So over here, though, I took away 2 cents more than I needed to. So now I'll go ahead and add on those 2 cents in my head. And 2 cents more than that would be $1.17. I want you to go ahead and try this problem in your head. So just write down the answer on your video sheet. But I want you to kind of jot down a couple words about what you did that helped make this problem easier to do in your head. Good luck.